Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Thriving Thursday, and we get to hear from Wanda Carrasquillo. She will be going over some personal development with us, and this is kind of a new touch to our Thursdays, and I'm very much looking forward to what she's got to share. So I'm learning more and more about Wanda as we get to know each other better, and she just has a really cool story. So just a little bit about her history. She was born in Puerto Rico, and she actually has 2 master's degrees in education, and she was able to accomplish that despite many life challenges. In her career, she succeeded in many ways, but only to an extent to where she would hit a ceiling every time she attempted to reach higher. I think a lot of us that have worked in the W-2 world can certainly relate to that. So she spent most of her time trading hours for money. And on the side, Wanda was always looking for business opportunities. And because of that, she has an entrepreneurial spirit. She never accomplished much in the business attempts, however. 3 years ago, when Wanda found Renatus, 3 years ago is when Wanda found Renatus. And Wanda has now exceeded her income goals in less time and in less effort than ever before. In her first 8 months alone with Renatus, she earned over 6 figures and has continued to do so each year after. Now she has completed about 20 real estate transactions and has built a large team of entrepreneurs, which allows them to succeed as she has. Because of her choice to become a real estate investor, her future is now brighter and great things are to come in the years ahead. Good morning, Wanda.
Good morning, Kitty. This is awesome. Thank you for that introduction. And every time you mention trading the times for hours, I just can put myself back. I'm like, I don't want that anymore. This is it. It's like, and I changed careers completely. The real estate investing was something that I had no clue, other than what I was watching on TV for the shows on Fix and Flip. Other than that, I'm like, I had no clue on anything on real estate investing. So it is wonderful that we have Renatus as a place where we can learn and then practice what we learn. And lately, that's what I've been telling people. And it's like, hey, if you go to the University of Utah, at the end of your degree, they don't guarantee you anything. You do whatever you want to do with your career, right? When I finished my career, I was the one that needed to find a job. I was the one who needed to apply what I learned. So it's the same thing here. You purchase your education and you are the one who can apply it and fulfill and flourish what you learned, right? So, but sometimes, and this is really a good segue for what I want to talk today, and like Kelly said, I've been focusing in personal development because I know that we have the knowledge, we have the tools, but not until our mind, our mindset, and our way of thinking is all aligned with the things that we want, we can create all the vision boards we want, we can visualize everything, and until our feelings, our emotions, and our way of thinking is not aligned, nothing is going to happen. And obviously putting the action into it, because we cannot sit over here and just think about things. We need to put the action into progress. So that's what I want to talk today. And I want to open it up because sometimes I want today to be a little bit more interactive. And when we are out there finding our prospect and so on, we find a lot of rejections, but we do have some of those rejections are which ones. So let's see if we can just come out of mute or go to the chat and write some of the objections that you find. See if somebody can point the one that I want to talk today. Here are some of the objections. You can put it in the chat, or you can come up of mute and shout it out. Here are some of the objections.
I don't have time. I don't have the money.
Very well. No time, no money. Excellent. And that the money, I'm going to tie it up to what I want to talk. What else? What else do we have? Awesome. Thank you. And that
I want
was,
to wait. I want to wait until after Christmas to do it, not now.
yes, 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 yes. Okay. What else?
As soon as I build other passive income, I'll do this.
Uh-huh. A lot of people think that they need to have the proof and they have to have that um, way of showing that they did something to then start promoting the school. What else? Anything else? Oh, I have some chat here. Bad credit, don't have the money, perfect. Um, they just don't answer your phone calls or email anymore. I know. And if you are, this is Jack, if you are a relator, that hurts you, right? I don't know if you're a relator, but that's most of them. Let's see. I want to hear something that is very permanent and everybody has it. Even us who have made the decision to be and do what we want to do with the education, we still have those within us.
Fears and doubt.
Yes. Who's that? Who said that?
Claudia.
Claudia, perfect. Claudia, good morning. Fear. Yes, that's the word that I wanted. And the meaning of fear, and then if you can go back to, everybody go back to mute. Thank you. The meaning of fear is really false evidence appearing real. And the fear is always go to the future, right? And you don't know the future, so why do you want to think about that future where you don't even know that it's going to happen? So you project that future because of evidence that you have from the past, that you can collect evidence. Like if I said, okay, I have fear of not having money because in the past I was really poor, so then I start accumulating stuff because I have that fear. So some of the behavior that you're going to experience are based on that fear for the evidence that you have from the past, but it's really projecting the future. And the only one who has control of the future is yourself. So if we go back to, remember last week, we were talking some principles on the book from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And in the book also, he mentioned 6 principles or 6 basic fears that everybody has, and that you can categorize everything under these categories. So the one is poverty, fear to poverty. And most of those are most of the things that you experience in life are going to fall into the poverty line of fear. Like, I don't have money. I have my dad, for example, he lived through the depression period. So he buys food like crazy. He lives in Puerto Rico. As a matter of fact, I'm moving kind of, I'm going to be spending more time there than here in Utah. I'm leaving tonight. And he is there by himself. He's 80 years old with my grandmother, 103 years old. And you go over there and there's food everywhere. There's food like crazy for only 2 people. And the other day I go and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't find anything to eat. And he's like, what? He starts bringing stuff from the freezer. and he has a lot of things that we can cook, but we didn't have anything to eat like immediately that I didn't have to cook, right? But he got mad because he really feel like he needs to have food in the house because of the period that he lived way back, that there was not that much food. So now he likes to accumulate food. And there's cans and cans, and yeah, it's good to have a food storage and everything, but in reality, this is like overboard. He doesn't have it like in a storage unit. He just kind of what he thinks that he needs to have it because of that poverty mentality, where the lack of food when he was younger. And sometimes in our brain, the brain tries to protect you, right? That's the function of your brain, try to protect you. And what it does is that if you anchor something when you were younger in your brain, the brain is going to try to protect you. No, you need to have more cans of food there. Sometimes if you say there's no ketchup in here, for example, he brings you like 5 cans of ketchup, and they're the big bottles. It's very, very exaggerating. And the other fear that Napoleon Hill makes is criticism. So you have fear of being criticized. And that is something that we all experience this. We don't want to be ashamed, or we don't want to be, criticized for what we're wearing or some things. So that is one of those categories that he puts into the fears, the 6 basic fears. And then the other fear is ill and health, everything related to health. So these 3 major fears are the ones that brings everything. It's like the bottom line of everything of your worries, which is poverty, criticism, and health. Everything else kind of fall into those 3 categories, but then the other 3 are the loss of love of someone, old age, and death. Those are the other fears that we get, right? Sometimes you go through, you're driving and you feel, oh my goodness, I probably can get in an accident and die. So you fear of that, and then you are driving with more care and things like that. So that's how all of this is categorized. But we all have that. What we need to work is on be fearless, because again, this is projecting the future. We don't want to be projecting something that is maybe not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, death is going to happen anyway, but you maybe are thinking on dying in a very catastrophic way, right? So you don't have to have fear of that, and things like that. So basically, especially in poverty, and this brings the money part, right? What kind of relationship you have with money? So let's concentrate on that and think about it. This year I spent so much money and time in personal development. And one of my coaches one day said, okay, Wanda, and this is at the beginning of the year, you're going to have 25 properties. And he said that, and my body started to react. And I felt like I wanted to throw up. I was feeling sick. I was feeling like, because your fears are attached to a feeling, right? So you need to start thinking, okay, when I start having a feeling, a reaction in my body, that means that I'm triggering a fear. And how I can shift and redirect that fear to put a different feeling on my body, that then I can combat the fear. Okay, so I have to stop him, and I said, hey, I feel like I'm getting sick here, because my brain could not comprehend that I can probably have 20 properties in a year. And I haven't, complete that goal. I've been in over 20 transactions, but throughout these 3 years. But in 1 year, thinking about 20 properties, I was like unheard. It was something that my brain, because I raised my thermostat for my money relationship to some amount. And if my brain only accepts that amount, then going above that amount is kind of fearless. It's fear, right? So So what we need to do is just check your thermostat and your relationship with money and say, oh, what is comfortable? What is comfortable for you? 10,000, 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month, and start making those amounts, telling yourself those amounts. And when you get like $50,000 a month, $80,000 a month, $100,000 a month, if you start feeling nervousness or you start feeling a little bit of anxiousness or something in your body, that means your brain is saying, no, you're not worth on having that amount. So you need to start working on seeing that amount and feeling comfortable with that amount. Once you feel comfortable with that amount, then your brain expands. It's like your comfort level expand, and then, oh, $100,000 a month is possible. Hey, Nate Lambert did it, 143 in September. Oh, if he did it, I can do it. So then I raised my limit. Oh, I'm working on $100,000 a month. So now you can visualize that and put it on your vision board, and you can work towards that because your brain already stretched enough and your comfort zone is bigger to understand that you are capable and able to complete $100,000 a month. But you have to put that thermostat up there, like the temperature and thermostat in your house. If you set up your thermostat at 50 or 60 or 70, what does that air condition does? It cranks up when it goes higher or lower to that temperature to keep it at that level. So the same thing is happening, what your brain does to you with your relationship with money. And then you can avoid that fear of having more because your thermostat was raised. And we can do that, okay? So right now my thermostat, I have this experience because the most I can have made in a month is 20,000, okay? And the first regionals, I received this plaque that says $20,000 a month. So I put it on my wall in my bedroom. So every day, even though I don't necessarily look at it, my peripheral vision ceases all the time that I pass by, right? And my brain is understanding $20,000. So when I start learning about this relationship with money, I'm like, oh my goodness, hold on. I have this plaque here that is telling my brain $20,000 a month. So that's my thermostat is set to $20,000 a month and it's not higher. So what I did, I put in the plaque, I put a 1 on the front. So now it says $120,000 a month. So that's now my brain is being stretched to, yes, it's possible. Oh, and then I collect evidence that this is possible. Oh, Nate Lambert have done it. Other people have done it. Okay, it's possible. Wanda can do it too. So I want you to do an exercise that where is your thermostat with money? Where is your relationship with money? And how the fear of having more comes from. And maybe it's something from your past and the way that you were raised. If you were raised in lack of, then we need to work on that. And that's what I've been doing this year. And I know that things in 2020 are going to be much, much better. So when you start setting up all these goals and targets for 2020, raise your thermostat, make it happen, and I know it's going to be wonderful. So we are at the top of the hour, the 30 minutes break. So guys, raise your thermostat. You can do more. Fear is something that is in the future, and you can control your future because you are a powerful creator and you can do whatever you want with your future. So put those fears away, raise your thermostat, improve your relationship with money. Money is good. Money is something that comes and flow easily to your life. And that's my training today. So Keely, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wanda. I'm so grateful for you. I really needed to hear this today. So thank you again for this training, and thanks for dedicating your Thursday mornings to spend with us. I hope everyone has a great Thursday, a great weekend. Again, I will send out a text to make sure everyone's on the same page, letting us all know about next week's schedule. Wanda, there's just a couple messages in the chat if you want to see those. Thank you, Wanda.
Yes. Let me look. Let's see.
David and Gilda say thank you, Wanda.
Thank you. Thank you, Wanda, for having safe trip to Puerto Rico. Thank you, guys. I love you, and you have happy holidays, whatever you believe. This is a time to celebrate, time to evaluate the past and start thinking about the future. But remember that tomorrow never doesn't exist. It's today. So today is the time that you can do something for you and take action.
Awesome, Wanda. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.